Hey, welcome back to yet another 5USC 2026 matchup. This time we have Major League New York A versus Pennsylvania A in the upper bracket. This is a Seed 1, Seed 5 matchup. Going to be an interesting one here. New York A is finally playing with Moore, who has been missing for the tournament so far, but he is not at his usual setup. He is at a setup in China, so he is not going to be at his peak strength, but we'll see how much impact he can put in. It is just me in the casting booth for tonight, for this match specifically. Plus KM taking a rightfully deserved break from all the casting, as we are heading into the pans and picks, with the first band being Pennsylvania's. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting match. New York A, I am from New York, so I'll be a little biased, but I'll try and keep the bias to a minimum. New York A, a very well-rounded roster with, core players, but not going to be super reliant on a couple of players. But Pennsylvania, the exact opposite. They play with Raymexia and Venom Puffs as their core two, and have a lot of fill players around them to make up for their skill sets. But yeah, the question for this match is Pennsylvania's third player skill capped at this point in the tournament, as we have a Force Mod 2 ban coming out from Pennsylvania. New York, I do have the privilege, or rather the benefit, of having access to the New York A team chat, and they are likely going to ban out DT3 and either Force Mod 1 or No Mod 5 are the three bans. DT3, DT4 bans, actually. Yeah, they were discussing DT4 ban. I wasn't fully caught up with their ban discussion, but DT3, DT4 makes sense. They were always going to ban DT3, I just wasn't sure what the second ban was, and they like to drop the No Mod 5 for DT4 ban. Pennsylvania, I'd expect... Oh, who was that just joined me in the BC? Oh, good morning, Christine. You have a match, not now. This is the wrong match, Goat. You have a match with Retigen in 12 minutes, bro. Wrong VC. It's the 3 UTC. This got delayed to 2:45. I forget which match it is. You're in for NorCal C versus Texas B, B50. You're in the BPC. Yeah, you can go. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, I'll go help him out. I'll be fine. Yeah, see you, bro. Slight mix up there on the casting booth, but it's fine. Got it figured out. The hidden 2 ban from Pennsylvania makes sense to me. And the first pick is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's first pick, I'd expect them to go towards something like the Force Mod 1. Yeah, there it is, Force Mod 1. This is 225 BPM, or sorry, 220 flat BPM stream pick for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, a very mechanics-oriented team. Their duo, Raymexia and Venom Puffs, very proficient at the mechanics, both aim and tapping. So I expect Pennsylvania to lean into tapping, as New York is a very proficient aim team. For both sides, I expect maybe if Moore is feeling it on the Hard Rock, it's more Hard Rock with 2 hiddens for the side of New York, whether that's Brudjay and Steven, or even Kilo probably can't play this. Geeg can probably play this. And so can Ayano might be stamina capped, not sure. Pennsylvania, it'll be Remexia, Venom Puffs, and a Phil third, who I should know, but is not popping to mind right now. Let me just... 1 second. Let me just take a look at these caster resources, and I'll find out real quick who their third might be. It is Birthday Geek and Steven in the lobby right now, actually, for New York. Actually, Geek dropping out of the lobby. Yeah, it'll be Remexia, Venom Puffs, and Cooper, maybe, in for Pennsylvania. Unsure. Yeah, Cooper's in the lobby right now. It's Birthday and Steven for the New York side. And I believe it'll be Geeg in the lobby for New York. Yeah, it'll be Brudge, Steven, and Geeg in for the side of New York. Pennsylvania will be playing Remexia, Venopuffs, and Cooper as expected. I'd expect either Remexia or Venopuffs to take Hard Rock. I think both of them can or will, as we have hidden Hard Rock on Remexia, on Venopuffs rather. We just saw that, so Remexia probably also on the hidden Hard Rock. Yeah, there it is. So hidden Hard Rock for both Remexia and Venopuffs. It is Steven on the easy. Brudge, I think that's a Bancho break, but we were discussing this in the New York team chat. Steven on the easy, finding an early break and under aim on the stream a little bit, but shouldn't matter too much as there's a lot of combo in the map. Remexia and Venom Puffs have the mod multiplier combo as they have the hidden Hard Rocks, and Brudge and Gig are actually both on the Hard Rock. Yeah, early lead for Pennsylvania with that early break for Steven, along with their mod multiplier having double hidden Hard Rock, but the accuracy a little bit low on Brudge and Venom Puffs on the Hard Rock and on the hidden Hard Rock respectively. But yeah, you'd hope that 100 combo break from Steven doesn't matter, but on a map like this, with players as proficient as this, we did see SoCal B just pull off a triple FC on this map, or near triple FC on this map, so something similar may happen here, and that multiplier and 100 combo may actually end up mattering at the end as we enter one of the jump section of this for Samada 1 right before we go into a slight break. But yeah, everybody holding strong, only the small mistake from Steven at the beginning for either side. As we get into the first TI, we'll have to see if anybody messes up. I mean, the hidden Hard Rock gives you a lot of multiplier for Pennsylvania, but does give you the risk of over-aiming or under-aiming one of these streams, flow aim streams on the hidden, as Venom Puffs drops a lot of accuracy, but not quite the combo. So Pennsylvania looking very strong so far on this map, but one break will turn it. New York is hot on their heels, and Geek actually is the first to drop on a jump, and that's not good from New York in this map, as Pennsylvania looking very strong indeed on this Force Mod 1. Venom Puffs dropping some accuracy, but will not matter as the combo is what matters. But yeah, Brudge also very low on the accuracy there on a 90%, but I mean, Pennsylvania just looking so strong right now, almost over halfway through this Force Mod 1. There's still time left in the map, but it requires Pennsylvania to find a drop, and there goes Venom Puffs. Still even for Pennsylvania, but they have the advantage from the mod multipliers and in terms of combo because Steven found that early break on the easy. So they're going to have to find something, but there goes Brudge on the Hard Rock, and that spells disaster for New York as Pennsylvania looks to run away with their 2FC lead. It's even worse for New York because this is a relatively free section of the song, and there's really not a lot to break here in this guitar solo, as Pennsylvania looking to close out their first pick very comfortably on the Force Mod 1. I think in theory, maybe New York has a chance to come back, but it would require Cooper and Remexia to find a break in this last section and soon. As we enter the last parts of this Force Mod 1, I think, honestly, the map is probably over at this point. I don't expect Remexia or Cooper to find a big break at the end here, and the score lead being so big as it is, I don't think Steven has the score to come back because of that limited multiplier. And with Geeg and Brudge both breaking, I think that's it. Pennsylvania will secure their first pick on this Force Mod 1, and it will be sent towards the side of New York A to get a pick of their own on their first pick. As Steven drops the combo at the end, and Pennsylvania will close out the double FC. Yeah, now on New York to find a pick in response to that Force Mod 1. There's a lot. Convex, that was not an FC from Steven. It was almost an FC. It was pretty close, but it wasn't. But yeah, New York A going to have to look for a pick in response. I don't. Now, I do have access to their team chat, but I'm not 100% confident in what they're going to pick. They were talking about a few different angles, talking about hidden angles, hidden 1, hidden 3. They were talking about aim angles, no mod 1. They're not going to pick tapping. They were not, they were not really talking about no mod 3 or no mod 4 either. No mod 5 probably not going to get picked by them, so I think they're going to go the no mod 1 route or the hidden 3 route. I'm not 100% sure either way. And they trolled me entirely. It's Flex 1. I did forget about Flex 1, to be fair. Player to look out for on the New York side is Steven. Steven is pretty good at this map, to say the least. So he will be the top scorer for New York, most likely. As for Pennsylvania, probably Bemp is going to be in for this. Venom Puffs and Remexia, I don't know if both of them are going to be in it. Maybe Venom Puffs can play this. And maybe it's Taco Snoz, their 6th, who we have not seen along with Daziak. But unsure. It's definitely going to be Bemp, at least for Pennsylvania. Just not sure who their other 2 members will be. For New York, it'll probably be Steven, Brudge, and it could be anybody, really. I'd expect it to be more, most likely, but it could be anybody. But I believe it will be Steven and Brudge as core, and then 3rd Phil. Yeah, it'll probably be Brudge, Steven, and more, if I had to guess, for Pennsylvania, as we don't really have anybody in the lobby. It is Remexia in for Pennsylvania right now, though, so I did guess that only one of them would be in. I just picked the wrong one. Venom Puffs looks like maybe not as comfortable on this, and that's actually Daziak in for the last player for Pennsylvania, as we do have more joining the lobby for New York. Yeah, more Brudge, and actually Geegan instead of Steven. Kind of surprising. Steven is very good at this map. I don't know, maybe just not feeling it right now, but Geeg instead of Steven in for New York, as Bemp, Remexia, and Daziak the core for Pennsylvania on this Flex 1. But yeah, this is Moore's first appearance in the bracket stage for New York. He has not been here for the entirety of the tournament so far. Only now playing from China on a setup he's not used to, as early goings pretty good for both teams. Both teams relatively combo. There goes Geeg on the back and forths. Moore actually dropping quite a bit of accuracy along with the combo drop from Geeg, so Pennsylvania gonna come out with an early lead, but there goes Bemp on the trade, and it'll swing back towards New York's favor. As we head into one of the more free sections of the map, Daziak also struggling a little bit on the accuracy, Moore recovering a little bit. But the important part is this cut stream. Bemp drops, and it's the only drop on that stream, actually. It's a very hard stream to hit and match, so very impressive to have 5 players hit it. But Geek trades the break from Bemp, so not all bad for Pennsylvania so far. Bemp continuing his struggles on the combo, but there goes Daziak, and that will spell disaster for Pennsylvania, as it is only 1 FC on Remexia versus 2 on Brudge and Moore. Brudge, kind of combo gaming his way through this a little bit at this point in the map, but continuing to combo is what matters here, as that score lead will continue to skyrocket towards New York's side, as Remexio also finding a lot of combo drops on that reading section. Daziak not able to keep their combo alive either, so New York gonna come out to a running start in their picks with a very strong pick of their own. Remexia the only FC left on Pennsylvania A to match Moore and Brudge. And I mean, Remexia's putting up a good fight, but he has not enough support, and New York just has too much of it. There goes Moore finally on the FC, but it's too late for the side of Pennsylvania as we enter the ending here. Only thing left to see is do Remexia and Brudge close out their FCs as we enter the last slider sections. Neither of them should break on this, and we do see 2 FCs, one for Brudge and one for Remexia, but New York A with the better supporting scores, so Pennsylvania will lose that point by quite a decent amount, as we are now tied up 1-1. For Pennsylvania, there's a lot of ways you can go here. You just won the tapping pick, Force Mod 1. There is not really any super big tapping maps left. There's only No Mod 2, which is more of a control map rather than a tapping map, or at least like a raw shreds tapping map like the DT3 and Force Mod 1 are. You could go the aim route. There's a lot of those in this pool. There's No Mod 1, there's Hidden 1, there's Hard Rock 1, and DT1, all open. If I had to take a guess, I'd say Pennsylvania will lean towards the DT1 instead of anything like the Hard Rock 1 or the No Mod 1. I think DT1 probably the most stable pick for Pennsylvania. Their core duo should be able to FC it most times, as in Remexia and Venom Puffs, and their third Daziak should also be able to set a very good score on it. New York A may be less consistent on the double time, but a very good aim team nonetheless, so a very scary situation to be in for Pennsylvania. I don't think they'll head towards the Hidden. I think it's got to be the Hard Rock or the DT, and it's actually DT2. This is the other tapping map in the pool that I didn't mention, but there's very weird burst shapes, and it's more of a finger control map and an aim control map than it is just raw tapping. Like, I can tap this. I'm not very good at tapping, so it is not a very hard tapping wise. We'll have to see how this goes for Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, everything was so still, I thought my PC crashed, but never mind. It's just, it's nothing. Venom Puffs and Remexia in the lobby, along with Taco Snoz, actually, but may just be lobby sitting for Daziak, as that's who I'd expect to be in for this. I'm not sure if Cooper would play this over Daziak. I mean, if Taco Snoz plays this, I'd be a little surprised. It might make sense, though, because this is kind of a gimmick DT pick. You don't really see aim control like aim finger control like this in the DT slots at all. So this is an interesting one. For New York, I'd expect more Let me think. Kilo won't play this, Steven won't play this. Ayano probably won't play this, so it's probably, yeah, it's okay. I just looked at my screen. It's Morgig and Brudge in for New York as we head into this DT2. Yeah, while this is like a tapping map, I wouldn't say this is super Pennsylvania favored. I assume they have good scores on it, but it's just not as stable as something like the Force 1-1 or the DT3. So we'll have to see if maybe that comes into effect here. Maybe Pennsylvania low roll a little bit on their scores, but we'll find out as we head into the CT2. Early accuracy lead for Pennsylvania, but only a little bit, and this is a relatively long DT map. It is over 3 minutes long with DT, so there is a lot of map. Early, small combo drops won't matter too much, but the thing is, this is pretty free combo for most people in this lobby. The thing you're gonna have to keep an eye out for are the key eyes, as we're nearing one right now. In the next 15 seconds, we should be getting into the first key eye, and it'll start off with one of those weirdly shaped bursts right here. Nobody drops except for Taco Snaz, actually, who I just realized is in the lobby. Taco Snaz in the lobby for Pennsylvania, their first map of this match. Remexia and Venom Puffs to support them. And Taco Snaz just not finding their footing here in this first key eye, in New York looking quite good on it. But again, this is the type of match where anything can happen on one of these bursts, and there goes Gigan Moore. Brudge, the only FC remaining to match Remexia and Venom Puffs on the side of Pennsylvania. And I mean, this is what you look for in Pennsylvania. Their dynamic duo of Remexia and Venom Puffs, so strong on all of these mechanics, tapping picks, even a little weirder on the aim and control, doesn't phase them at all as they continue their double FC going into the halfway point of DT2. The good point for New York is you still have an FC on Brudge, but Venom Puffs and Remexia, you've got to hope for a break from at least one of them as we head into another free combo section, and the rest of this map is just pure evil after these sliders are over. As we head into the last section of the map, they see the break, they know what's going on their screens. Remexia finding a break on the drop accuracy, but there goes more. It's still 2 FCs to 1 and a recovery on Geek. Taco Snaz also recovering very nicely for Pennsylvania in this last key eye, and I think you've got to say that Pennsylvania is looking very good, but there goes all the drops. Remexia and Venom Puffs and Taco Sauce all fall for Pennsylvania. Brudge, the last couple remaining, but will finally drop also, and there goes the map for Pennsylvania. A secured point, a little scary. If Brudge held on for the rest of the map, it would have flipped, but finds a break, and Pennsylvania come out of this DT2 by the skin of their teeth. Now, Venom Puffs and Remexia and Taco Sauce actually all hit that ending burst. That ending burst is evil, by the way. I just like to point out that that is one evil burst. As New York A found 2 very unfortunate mistimers, and that will cost them the point. As Remexia and Venom Puffs, again, I can't keep saying it, but it's dynamic duo. Pennsylvania is so strong. That's what's carried them to the semifinal stage. And Taco Snaz, their support, no slouch either, outscoring more on this DT2. But yeah, for New York, there's a couple of ways you can go this. New York does love their aim maps, so they could go into that with No 1 or Hard Rock 1. They are also, Pennsylvania is not known as a hidden state. They're not bad at it per se, obviously, being seed 5, but maybe not their strongest skill set. And Easy 1 actually being picked up here by New York, more a core Easy player for the New York lineup, finally being back. I'm not sure if he's put in much practice into this Easy, but we'll find out, as this is sort of unexpected for me. I didn't really expect him to go into Easy 1 so early. I expect him to save it for a little later, but I guess it's already time to see the easy one from New York A. I'd expect Brudge Steven, the core 2 for New York, and the third will probably be either Geeg or Moore. It just kind of depends if Moore has practiced the map or not. For Pennsylvania, it's probably Bemp, Taco Snaz, and I forget who their third is. I think it's usually Venom Puffs. I forget though. I haven't looked at Pennsylvania's easy roster in quite a while. No, it's actually Taco. Sorry, it's actually Raymexia. Sorry, wrong one of the two. But yeah, I mean, the players keep your eye out for Steven and Bemp, the easy specialists for both of their states. These are the two players you want to keep your eye on and see if they FC. This is a very hard easy map. Quite a lot harder than the semifinalist easy one from last year. Actually, is that Daziak's in the lobby instead of Raymexia for Pennsylvania? I guess was forced to put in the practice time into this easy one. But yeah, New York A, they did lose last week on the easy one to Pennsylvania in terms of team score, but maybe banking on the fact that it was a low roll, banking on the fact that Pennsylvania maybe not as consistent on the easy map as they are, as Bancho is being very funny. What is going on, Bancho? Please stop. Okay. What's going on? Alright. Thank you, Bancho. I think Daziak just misread that note. And Geegan, Brudge, and Taco Stas, and Bem all misread that pattern. What? Brudge is missing everything. What's going on? I don't... Okay, I'm not sure what's happening. Taco Stas is also going to find a drop there, and the only FC left in the entire lobby is Steven after we head through the first few seconds of the map, but Steven will also find a drop, so nobody's FCing right now. The combos are relatively even on both sides. Geek finding a drop will make it so that Pennsylvania is actually in the lead right now in terms of combo. Accuracy is all over the place. Bemp also finding a drop. This is just pure chaos. Nobody can hold a combo, even through this easier early section. Right now, combo leads slightly in the favor of New York, especially with that break from Daziak. Bemp also finding an over... Nobody can hold any combo. What is going on? This has got to be the low roll of a century for both of these teams. Steven, though, holding on to the recovery along with Brudge on... I don't think that's an FC, but it might. I lost track with everybody breaking. Taco Snas also recovering nicely on the easy, but kind of outmatched by the combos on New York, as we're in well within the first key. Bemp and Geek both finding breaks that favors Pennsylvania, as Geek had the bigger combo. But I think Brudge and Steven, this two-man easy core for New York, is not to be trifled with in the least, as they look to close out this easy one in good fashion. Geek finding yet another break. Taco Snas and Daziak trying their best, but I don't know if there's enough time, and Taco Snas finding a break on the big combo will seal the deal for Pennsylvania on this easy one, and New York A will come out with a little bit of a messy victory on the easy one, but a victory nonetheless, as they have 0 FCs on the board. But it is a good team score, and Pennsylvania will drop there. Yeah, now it's time for Pennsylvania to find another pick. I mean, they have one more tapping map left. It is No Mod 2. That's it. It's just No Mod 2. Daziak, Yap cost catastrophic. That was me. Like 10 minutes ago, that was me. But yeah, I mean, Pennsylvania, they've got a few weeks to go here. They could go for a hard rock map, maybe. There's no mod 2. DT4 is gone. DT3 is gone. DT1 is up. Force mod 1 is gone. Flex 1 is gone. So what's left are all the no mods. All the hidden 1, hidden 3. All the hard rocks. And DT1. Those are the maps left up in the pool. And it is DT1 for Pennsylvania. I did mention that I think this is one of their more stable picks. But New York, not slouches on the DT aim skill set either. So Pennsylvania, they've got to hold on true to their combos on this map. But yeah, I mean, it'll be eyes on Remexia and Benepuffs to see how they play on this DT1, if they double FC or not. Both teams with, I believe that is a triple FC in qualifiers on the DT1. Yeah, Pennsylvania, they're going to field Remexia, Benepuffs, Stasiak. That'll be their their 3-man roster. It's just a question of, I have no doubt that Remexia and Benepuffs can play this map. I have no doubt that they are capable of FCing it. Question is, how well can Stasiak play it, and are Remexia and Benepuffs consistent enough to double FC? For New York, the players are probably Kilo, maybe more if he's feeling it. Brudge and it can be literally anybody. It'll probably be Brudge and Kilo, and then a Phil. Geek Shade or more probably as the third. Actually, scratch that. It is Steven in for New York A on the DT1. As we have good confidence in the mess in the chat, and actually it's Cooper in for, instead of Stasiak, maybe a little BPM gapped on the 270 BPM. Yeah, Pennsylvania, they want to keep their good streak of picks here up. They don't want to give up a break point on this DT1, as it is one of the only pure mechanic maps left in the pool. 2 of the other aim maps in the pool are awkward aim, as Pennsylvania have an early accuracy lead. Right, all players holding strong throughout this early intro. There is this one pattern right here. Nobody misses on that aim pattern, but Cooper finding an early break. Not fantastic for Pennsylvania, so the lead will go over to New York a little bit. There goes Kilo, never mind. Lead will stay over on the side of Pennsylvania as we enter this first key. But Venom Puffs actually not the break you want to see for Pennsylvania, finding a drop there. So it's 2 FCs on Brudge and Steven versus just Remexia on the side of Pennsylvania with a recovery from Cooper. And finding a drop there, Pennsylvania not a fantastic outlook early on this DT1. But anything can happen. Remexia still on that FC, and we all know how consistent they are on this skill set as we enter one of the breaks for DT1. Both teams know the state of the map right now. They know they have to keep holding as we enter the second key eye shortly. Still, all players holding strong. There is this one triple into a burst. Brudge actually being the one to fall early in the second key eye. Steven also under tapping a triple, and there goes Pennsylvania Remexia. We talked so much about this duo, Remexia and Benepuffs. Benepuffs finally finding a break, but Remexia is the one to keep your eye out on. The FC still on the board for Pennsylvania, bringing it over to the side of Pennsylvania. Kilo, the only combo on New York to match, but Cooper is recovering. Steven finding a break on the overlaps, and Remexia so consistent on this DT1 skill set on the 5WC team. For a reason, the lead will flip over to Pennsylvania along with the drop from RD. New York, your only hope here is if Kilo holds to this final key eye, and Remexia finds a miracle break in this last key eye, but Remexia, he's not going to do that. Entering the outro, 100,000 score left and counting. Remexia going to close out this FC on the DT1, or looking to rather, as the score lead starts skyrocketing to the side of Pennsylvania. Cooper finds a break, but it's too low, too late as Kilo trades, and Pennsylvania will secure their third point of the match. Yeah, Venompuff's kind of underperforming my expectations on this DT1. But I mean, we talk about Raymexia all the time. We talk about this duo of Raymexia and Venompuffs on Pennsylvania. When one falters, the others got their back, and Raymexia shows up with a 1.2 million FC on this DT1. Kind of a scary pick there for Pennsylvania for a little bit, but you win it anyways. That's all that matters. New York looking to answer back with a pick of their own. Again, I keep talking about it. The Hidden 3 is up. I feel like New York might lean into that. Other maps up that they might lean into. Nomad 1, Nomad 3 even, if they... Nomad 3/4 if they want to, but those are kind of RNG maps. I wouldn't expect them to lean into the Hard Rock 1. I expect them to pick Nomad 1 before Hard Rock 1. So it's Hidden 3, Nomad 1, or... Okay, we do see Nomad 3 pick from New York. This is very much an accuracy check in the terms of the map. Has some less than conventional rhythms and sliders, so you're gonna have to act very carefully. Yeah, actually, both teams have not played many Nomad 3s so far in the bracket stage. New York played Nomad 3 in round of 16, but no other round have Pennsylvania played Nomad 3. Or no other round has New York played Nomad 3, and Pennsylvania has never played Nomad 3 in the bracket stage so far in this tournament. The only time they have played Nomad 3 was in qualifiers, and they did not place particularly well on this, so that may be what New York is banking on. Expected lineups for both teams, I'd say Shade, Steven, and a Phil for New York, Brudge or more, probably, as is Brudge in the lobby right now. For Pennsylvania, I expect the dynamic duo to be in Raymexia Venompuffs. Daziak can probably play this, as he's in the lobby right now. But it could be Bemp instead of maybe Raymexia Venompuffs if they're not feeling it, but it is Raymexia and Venompuffs in the lobby as Shade, Brudge, and Steven in for New York on the Nomad 3. I mean, it is the combo gamer themselves, Shade X Ayano Tateyama on the New York A side, and on a map like this, combo game is actually very effective as Axe will not be very high. Yeah, players to keep your eye out on. Shadex on the combo game. Steven, very proficient at this all skill set as Venompuffs. The first to break early on in this Nomad 3 shouldn't matter too much. A very long map with a lot of combo, so that early break shouldn't matter too much, hopefully, as finding FCs on this map is very hard. Yeah, early 30,000 score lead for New York, just based on accuracy in that early break from Venompuffs, as they find another break. Not what you want to see from one of your main core players on the side of Pennsylvania. But yeah, I mean, across the board for New York, 2% or greater accuracy lead on each of the players. So that is what's going to be making up most of the accuracy lead, as combo has really not overtaken the score lead that much, as it is only Venompuffs that is broken. Yeah, New York chilling so far on the Nomad 3. Daziak and Raymexia also having a good time, maybe a little lower on the accuracies, but does not matter too much, or specifically on Daziak and Raymexia. Actually, very decent accuracy on this Nomad, 93%, but Daziak dropping down to 90 as we enter one of the verses, as we leave the first Ki, with 5 combos intact and a recovery on Venompuffs. Now, if you're not familiar with this map, there is one pattern approximately 2/3 of the way in, right at the end of the solo, that you'll have to keep your eye out on. We'll have to see if anybody hits that, as it is the hardest pattern in the map, bar none. There's a lot to miss on before that, but that is for sure the spot where we'll see the most misses. As Dasiak breaks on nothing! And that's not good for Pennsylvania. You've got only one FC to New York's 3. Yeah, New York looking very strong on this Nomad 3 so far. Over halfway through this Nomad 3, and still 3 FC strong. Remexia, the only person left on the side of Pennsylvania with any combo, actually, Dasiak, that was a Bancho break, never mind. So it is still 2 FCs to 3. Any break matters at this point. Venom Pups also has a very good recovery. Accuracy matters, but not as much as combo and score V2. And Pennsylvania does not have the same accuracy as New York, but it doesn't matter if New York breaks as we enter the solo. Nobody breaking on the 1-1 drops. Venom Pups finds another break, but maybe it's Bancho again. Iona Tateyama to trade it, though, in the Ki. But Dasiak also finding a drop. Is that Bancho again? It does not look like it. Remexia and Steven. Remexia misses on the stupid pattern. Brudge also misses, but it's Steven to hold through the Ki, the solo, and enter the last Ki with the sole FC remaining on the board. New York looking so very strong on this Nomad 3. Steven, specifically, the man, the myth, the legend, underestimated in the prediction stream, touted as an easy one-trick, shows up again for New York on these picks. Nomad 3 going to be heading the way of New York with a masterclass from Steven, looking to close out an FC on Nomad 3 in this match. Steven, also known as Official Jerk, used to play the big boy USC way back in the day, now decays down to 10k, 5-digit, and plays in the little boys version of USC and shows up for his state, dropping an FC on Nomad 3, sending Pennsylvania reeling with that sucker punch to the face, as Pennsylvania, they have to find a map to respond with. Yeah, Dasiak popping I hate that map in chat. Yeah, I also hate that map. It's just like the most impossible to act map for no reason. Just consistent 90%, doesn't matter offset, doesn't matter timing, nothing. It's always 90%. Same thing can be said about Hidden 3, actually. Pennsylvania, cool routes they could go with. Hard Rocks are all up. Nomad 5 is also up. I did forget about Nomad 5, honestly. I did forget that was a map in the pool. But Pennsylvania, I think they're out of the solid maps left. DT2, DT1, Quest 1 all out, DT3 banned. So I think they can go for maybe one of these precision picks at this point in the match. It might be a little coin flippy, but I think it is probably in their favor. Yeah, Pennsylvania, they can go the precision route with Nomad 5 or Hard Rock 2. They can go... Okay, it is Hard Rock 2. This is higher BPM than Nomad 5. A little easier, maybe. Definitely, it is easier than Nomad 5. And also bigger circles, CS 6.5 instead of CS 8. So Pennsylvania, they're going to look to abuse the consistency they have on these mechanics against New York A, and New York A is going to have to hope that they can match Venom Pups and Remexia on this type of map. For New York A, I'd expect Kilo and 2 fills, maybe Steven and, I mean, Steven is so good on even things you think an easy player wouldn't be, talking about the small circles. So, might be in for this, in the lobby right now, actually. But yeah, I'd expect Kilo to definitely be in for this, the Hard Rock specialist, or New York. Yeah, Kilo, aka New York, the entire state of New York, is in the lobby right now for Pennsylvania. Obviously, Remexia Venepuffs, no map would be incomplete. No map would be complete without those two for Pennsylvania. And either Daziak or Bemp in for Pennsylvania. I have to check their past matches and see what the last roster. They did play Daziak last round for the Flex one, which was the precision map. It's actually more in the lobby right now for New York A. Also a very well-rounded player. Very good at most things, and will be showing up on this Hard Rock too. As yes, it is indeed Remexia Venepup Stasiak for Pennsylvania, as we have Bill Caffins in the chat, and we are into Hard Rock 2. Oh, will Bancho load everybody at the same time for once? Come on, Bancho. I believe in you. Oh. Okay, so Bancho does load everybody in first time. It is more Steven Kilo for the side of New York, Daziak, Remexio, Venepups for Pennsylvania on this CS 6.5 Lesja Precision Mechanics Hard Rock 2. Early accuracy lead for Pennsylvania off of the backs of Venom Puff's SS. Of course, like I always tout, accuracy means nothing if you don't have combo, and no players have broken so far, but we are very early on in the map and not into the hard parts yet as we finish up this introduction section as we enter the first key eye. All players looking very comfy, that accuracy lead being the only contributing factor to that score lead right now for Pennsylvania. No drops in this first key eye, but there's going to be one of those space 5-note bricks here. Nobody breaks on that either, just an accuracy drop for New York, but Pennsylvania still holding strong. All players still holding strong on this Hard Rock 2. Third of the way map in, but Kilo finds a break on the 5-note burst along with the aim, and that'll send the score lead towards Pennsylvania's side. Steven and Moore holding on for New York, but Pennsylvania, that dynamic duo of Remexia Venepups holding on so strong with the support from Daziak. Pennsylvania, the map's not over at all. We're only about halfway through this Hard Rock 2, and New York still has two big combos, so you've got to stay strong for Pennsylvania. You've got to stay strong and hold your combos if you want to come out on top in this matchup of Titans in the winner's bracket side of Major League 5USC 2026. And when I speak of Titans, I speak of stuff like this, both sides not breaking. This is the most intense part of the map. There goes Daziak, though, on the drop. So it's only two FCs now for Pennsylvania, but there goes Kilo on the trade. So it's 2 FCs to 2, and no support for both sides. And that favors Pennsylvania because of the superior accuracy and that score buffer as we enter the second break into the last third of this map. Yeah, Daziak, 99% accuracy on this Hard Rock 2. Insane accuracy. Not to be, not trying to overshadow Remexia's, also very nuts. 98% accuracy on the Hard Rock 2. But yeah, if you're Pennsylvania, a win on this opens up a no mod 5 pick. I believe it was probably on their pick chart even without this win, but Pennsylvania, they've got to hold on. If they both break, New York still have 2 FCs, so it's not out of reach yet for New York, but the longer they hold, the more unlikely it gets, as, I mean, this dynamic duo, we talk about them so much, and it's for good reason. It's for scores like these on the Hard Rock 2. They show up time and time again on these precision picks, on these mechanics picks, aim, tapping, you name it, they can play it. The duo for Pennsylvania that brought them so far into this tournament, that is bringing them so far in this tournament, looking to close out a duo FC on Hard Rock 2. But yeah, on both sides, 2 FCs and a supporting combo. But Pennsylvania, superior accuracies and slightly better combo on the supporting score is the difference maker on a Hard Rock 2 that is so difficult to FC consistently. But yeah, I mean, this is a back and forth match. Both teams executing their pick strategy perfectly. Pennsylvania with that Hard Rock 2 win that opens up No Mod 5 as their next pick. And finally, it is going to be the Hidden 3 picked up here for New York. This flow control tech hidden map, very hard to act, similar to the last map they picked, No Mod 3. So a lot of comfortability can be seen just by judging their accuracies on this Hidden 3. But again, I sound like a broken record, but accuracy don't mean nothing if you don't got the combo. As for Pennsylvania, of course, Venom Puffs and Remexia. Who else? Their core duo likely in for this one, and their third could be Bemp, could be even Taco Snaz. Not entirely sure who the third is. Just probably who's more comfortable on the map at this point in time. For New York, likely Steven Moore and Geeg in the lobby for the Hidden 3. Daziak right now sitting in the lobby for Pennsylvania. I'd expect him to be the fill for Pennsylvania, which makes sense. But yeah, it is Steven Gigmore in for the side of New York, Pennsylvania. Daziak, Venom Puffs, Remexia on this Hidden 3, as we have yet to see a breakpoint for either side. And if there's any map for it to happen on, it's this Hidden 3. You can find a break on basically anything in this map, and combo gaming very prevalent. So Pennsylvania gonna have to lock in here. CMFC's New York, you don't want to low roll and give away the first breakpoint of the match. But yeah, like I said, accuracies on this map going to tell a lot about your comfortability, and the only person above 95% in the entire lobby through that intro is Moore. But yeah, honestly, this intro section of the map, underrated for how hard it is to act. Obviously, it's free combo, but you can drop a lot of 100s here as we enter the double section precursor to the first Ki. Big question, does anybody drop on the slider stream? There goes Steven, traded out by Daziak on a slider, jumps Pennsylvania A, even in terms of combo. But right now, Venom Puffs trading it is not going to help their cause on this Hidden 3. New York A holding strong, 2 FCs on Geeg and more accuracies down. very down on both sides, but like I said, it doesn't matter unless you have combo. But actually, Geeg the one to trade out the break from Venom Puffs and Daziak, so it's just Moore versus Remexia, the two titans of both teams, 5WC players, the both of them, and they will be the only combos remaining for their respective teams going into this break. Remexia down 5% accuracy on Moore will affect his score if they both FC, but act don't mean a thing without the combo. Steven on recovery, matching Venom Puffs, Geeg matching Daziak as we head into this free combo section, precursor to the last Ki of this map, and maybe the most crucial Ki of the match so far. Moore holds through the slider stream, but drops on the slider jumps. Remexia also trading means it's just Geek, Venom Puffs, and Steven to survive into this last Ki. Steven found a Bancho break, but still holding onto that 600 combo. Venom Puffs trying to match, but his teammates are falling and crumbling behind him. Geek and Steven, the two pillars for New York, holding on to the weight of this map. Venom Puffs finding a drop finally, and Pennsylvania will not be able to find a breakpoint here on this hidden 3. New York A going to comfortably take this map and tie up the match at 4-4. Pennsylvania A valiant effort, but New York A just more consistent, more comfortable on this type of map, and they'll be sent back to their own pick without a breakpoint, needing to find their next map. Again, with that Hard Rock 2 victory, I'd expect Nomad 5 to be a no-brainer here for them. Other maps in the pool just feel kind of coin flip. Nomad 1 against New York feels not great. Nomad 2, not a pure tapping map, maybe not comfortable on the flow aim, but definitely pickable for Pennsylvania. Nomad 4, similar to the Nomad 1, just super RNG, not sure if you want to pick into that. Nomad 5, off that Hard Rock 2 pick, I think feels the best. Other maps up include Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, and Hard Rock 3. But I believe that's all of the maps left in the pool, so Pennsylvania, you've got to make a decision. Which pill do you take? And it will be Nomad 1. This is a risky pick. No, New York, known this year as the AIM team. I think you ask anybody what New York is good at, and the first thing that comes to mind this year is AIM for them. But I don't hate the reasoning for Pennsylvania. It's also likely their most comfortable skill set left in the pool. Even if New York is maybe slightly better than you on paper doesn't mean anything unless you can translate it to an in-match FC. And we've seen New York have their struggles before. We've seen them go to tiebreaker against Indiana just last round, and Pennsylvania maybe looking to take advantage of that weakness on this Nomad 1. I mean, benefits of being the AIM team for New York, they've got 5-6 players that can all FC this map. Just depends on which one of them feel like playing it. It could be Kilo, Steven, Shade, Brudge, Moore, it could be Geeg, any of them. Of course, Geeg likely the least likely to play this, but he is in the lobby right now, so maybe I'm cooked. Maybe I'm the wrong one. But I mean, Pennsylvania, expect Remexia, Venom Puffs, Daziak, of course, the core trio for most picks for Pennsylvania. Kilo in the lobby for New York. That's 4 players on the side of New York. I think they're just deciding who should play this over who. I'd expect Geek to be the one to drop out and Kilo to be the one playing, as that does happen. Daziak in the lobby along with Remexia for Pennsylvania. Missing Venom Puffs, but likely going to join the lobby very soon. As there they are, and indeed it is Shade, Kilo, Brudge for New York, Daziak, Remexia, Venom Puffs for Pennsylvania on this 210 BPM and Nomad 1. Okay, we get to look at the break. W Bancho. But yeah, I mean, picking Nomad 1, you always accept there's going to be some level of luck when it comes to FCS. Shade fighting an early break shouldn't matter too much. This is a very long map, 4 minutes long, with quite a lot of combo, only dropping about 60 combo. Should not matter too much. Of course, will matter if Pennsylvania 3 ways and New York hold the rest of the way, but an unlikely circumstance But both of these teams extremely proficient at this skill set. So it could go either way. Shade finding another break. It may be nerves, it may be inconsistency, not sure what it is, but that break will matter a little more. 200 plus combo missing now for Shade X compared to the rest of the lobby, and it's not what you want for New York. One of these teams have to find a breakpoint eventually for one of them to win, unless you want to go to tiebreaker. But yeah, everybody in the lobby looking so easy, making this map look easy. Let me tell you, this map is not as easy as they're making it look. It is just a no mod 1, but certainly not easy to combo in match with nerves in a match such as this. But yeah, that combo lead, that score lead rather, for Pennsylvania going to be off of the back of Shade X's breaks, but Remexia finding the break, and that's not who you want to see drop for Pennsylvania. That's your, no, Memphis, their captain. Sorry, wrong term, but that is their core player on these mechanics maps. And finding a break there is going to cap his score at about 700,000, even if he FCs the rest of the map. So, a little unfortunate timing there on the break, as we enter one of the more free sections of this No. 1. Score lead going to slowly come back to the side of New York, but very, very slowly, because combos haven't really accelerated haven't really exponentially increased scores yet, as we are only halfway through the map. Everybody holds to the awkward aim pattern as we enter the second PI. Daziak and Venompups, the two FCs remaining on the side of Venompups, looking to match Brajay, Kilo, and Ayano on the recovery, but Remexia finding another drop for Pennsylvania is not going to be good for them, as the score lead finally flips over to the side of New York. Remexia, maybe a low roll, maybe some of that luck factor coming into play here on this No Mod 1. It's not what you want to see in Daziak drops. Pups also drops on nothing, and Pennsylvania have completely collapsed. Entering this last third of the map, New York still have only one FC, as Brajay also misses. Kilo, though, on the final FC remaining with a recovery from Ayano Tateyama. Shade X, the man himself, the captain for New York A in this year's 5USC26, holding on for the entire state. That score lead going to start exploding to the side of New York as we enter the last part of this map. Kilo finding a break, but still, Ayano Tateyama's combo is unmatched by anybody on the side of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, they enter the break, they see they're in dire straits, they need a total collapse from New York, but even then, I'm unsure if it's enough. Daziak finding another break, and I think I'm going to call it. There's just not enough in this map for Pennsylvania to take the lead back, and their aim pick backfires on them. Finding the first breakpoint of this match, Shade X finally going to drop their combo on the last parts of this map, but all that's left is this ending jump section, and that's just simply not enough score for Pennsylvania to claw back the lead, and New York will be finding the first breakpoint in this match, going up 5-4, heading into their next pick, looking to consolidate. Yeah, I mean, I said it right before this map started, right when they picked this. There's one thing you ask anybody in this year's 5USC, what is New York good at? The number one thing that will come to your mind is aim. And that's why. Again, I have to agree with RD. I don't know why you pick No Mod 1 over No Mod 5 here. I just think No Mod 5 is just the safer pick out of the two. Maybe uncomfortable on the CS8, but I think you have to know that New York A is likely just as uncomfortable on that type of map if you are. Pennsylvania going to be kicking themselves over that pick, as if New York wins this next map, they go to match point. And it is Hidden One picked up from New York. That hidden 3 win, relatively convincing, but this is a very different style of map. Hidden 1, awkward aim on hidden air 9.5. Very easy to read. It's just about having that hidden comfortability. Having the ability to consistently snap onto those awkward aim sections and to not miss on nothing, because that is such a problem with these awkward aim hidden ones, is you slightly over aim or slightly under aim your snap and you miss, and all of a sudden all of your score is gone. New York A. I mean, do I even need to say what I think the roster will be for Pennsylvania? It'll be Venom Puffs, it'll be Remexia, and it'll be Daziak. For New York, could be a many multitude of people, likely more before they were a all-rounder #1 in 5WC tryouts. They were mostly known as a hidden player, and this is their bread and butter skill set. In the lobby right now for New York is Kilo and Ayano Tateyama, aka Shadex, who are also very competent at this skill set. Vamp in the lobby actually right now for Pennsylvania. Likely just lobby sitting, but wouldn't be super surprised to see them play this either. More Kilo and Shadex in the lobby for New York, and it is Daziak, Remexia, Venom Puffs for Pennsylvania as we enter Hidden 1. We get to sit through the intro of Hidden 1 as Bancho gives us a little funny moment. Remexia finding an early break shouldn't matter too much. This is a very long map, similar to No Mod 1, a lot of combo, a lot of playtime. So early breaks should not matter too much, as triple FCs are very unlikely. Yeah, New York looking to secure match point here on this Hidden 1 pick against Pennsylvania, who have been looking so strong all tournament. Looking very good in this match so far. One blunder pick, and now their backs are almost up against the wall. Maybe a couple inches of room behind them, but one step and you're facing that wall directly behind you. Pennsylvania going to look to get back a breakpoint, and that's what you want to see. Shadex breaking in the first Ki. That's a significant break. 400 combo is a lot to be missing on this map, and that score lead will head over to Pennsylvania. Still, there's a lot of map left, a lot of places to regain your combo, a lot of places to break on, and as I speak those words, Venom Puffs also finding a break here on the Hidden 1, and again, your core 2 players for Pennsylvania, you don't want to see those guys dropping misses. They're so consistent, so good, that when they break, you can't help but doubt if the map is even winnable. But right now, still winnable for Pennsylvania. New York A, not that ahead in combo, still 2 FCs to 2, just slight recovery on Ayano Tateyama, outmatching that on Venom Puffs, and the score lead will flip towards New York. As we enter the second Ki, both teams looking very strong. Daziak and Remexia holding on strong for Pennsylvania. New York A, Moore and Kilo still doing the work. Still FCing this Hidden 1 as we exit the first half of the second Ki, and we enter the square patterns, and there goes Kilo on the square of the second Ki, and now Pennsylvania, they've got a chance, and there goes Moore. 2 breaks for the side of New York, and now Pennsylvania are in the driver's seat. Daziak trades one back, but so does Ayano Tateyama. Now it's just Remexia on not quite an FC versus, along with Venom Puff's strong recovery, and it looks like New York may have just traded a pick back. Oh, but Remexia overtaps a circle. Now it's just Venom Pups on the very strong recovery against New York A, but New York have no combo through this solo. Venom Pups is going to outmatch all of their combo and then some as we enter the last third of Hidden 1. The score lead only 120,000 and climbing for Pennsylvania. Recovery is also coming in for Daziak and Remexia, and the longer that Venom Pups holds, the worse it gets for New York as we enter this break. Oh, Ayano Tateyama breaks on the triple, on the linears rather, and I think that's the map. That break, so little combo behind it, but it doesn't matter. They needed every little bit of combo they could find. Daziak matching recoveries for the side of New York, and of course Venom Pups unmatched on this 900 combo is going to bring it home for Pennsylvania. A traded break pick on 2 aim maps back to back. Kilo also finding a break, in Pennsylvania, their backs no longer up against the wall, going into their next pick. New York A and Pennsylvania A trading break picks there. New York had the opportunity to secure the match point first for themselves, but traded it out to Pennsylvania, and now Pennsylvania with the chance to secure match point first with their next pick. Again, Nomad 5 is up. I think that's just the safest pick left up for Pennsylvania. I think Nomad 2 is also possible, but I would expect Nomad 5 over Nomad 2, to be honest. New York, you gotta prep yourself for 2 things. You gotta prep yourself, 1, whatever this pick is, and 2, you gotta practice the tiebreaker. Because if you lose this pick, you're not playing... Okay, Bemp will send a timeout, so Pennsylvania will get an extra 2 minutes to deliberate their last pick here, as we have just amended that rule in the rule book, and you do not have to pick at the end of your pick timer. You can pick at the end of the timeout timer. That was implemented earlier today. But yeah, for Pennsylvania, it's Nomad 5 or Nomad 2, I think. I think there's no other way you can go. Nomad 4 is not going to get picked. I guess you could try Hard Rock 1. You did just win on Awkward Aim. Can somebody let Sparkle know that they can pick at the end of the timeout timer? That Sky did ping all the referees. I did see that ping, because I have the referee role. So somebody tell any of the players to let Sparkle know. But yeah, Pennsylvania, you're gonna have to look for what they feel most comfortable on. I think for New York, you take this time not to think about what they're picking, but to think about what you're picking. Maps left up, no hiddens are left, DTs are all gone. Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 3, Nomad 2, and Nomad 4, and Nomad 5 are the remaining maps. I think for New York, you lean into something more control-based. You lean into Nomad 4 or Hard Rock 3. I think you have to leave the Nomad 2 out of the equation and Nomad 5 out of the equation. And you just have to pick out of those 3, which one are you most comfortable on. Yeah, while you're waiting on this pick to happen, there is the NorCal C versus Texas B match going on the B stream, I believe. And their match, let me take a look. Let's see how it's going. Their match, Texas B is winning by quite a lot, but it is not over yet. So if you want to go pop in, they are only picking, and it is Nomad 2 picked up for Pennsylvania. This is the last tapping adjacent pick in the pool, but again, there's a lot more than just tapping in this map. It's control, both finger and aim, and a lot of flow. Yeah, I did not expect Pennsylvania to go with this map. It just feels like I've seen a lot of good tapping players drop subpar scores on this map when you expect a lot out of them because of the control nature of this map, because of the quads, the bumps in the flow, the aim control required. It's just not it's just not raw shred like you'd expect out of this map. Again, I'm a broken record. Venom Puffs for Mexia, Daziak for Pennsylvania. I don't expect anybody else in for them. New York. A lot of ways you can go with this. Geek, Steven, and more, most likely the lineup. Yep, Geek, Steven Moore in the line for New York A. For Mexican Venom Puffs, of course, in for Pennsylvania. Daziak, their fill. We're gonna have to keep an eye and see how both these teams do, as this is the most important pick of the match so far. Whoever wins this map guarantees at the least tiebreaker. And if you lose, your backs are up against the wall going into your opponent's pick for Pennsylvania, or going into your own pick with a lot of stress for New York. But yeah, originally a Corsace Open Custom, the Snowmod 2 features a lot of even-numbered bursts as Geek falls victim to the very first one. An early break might matter a little bit, but a lot of accuracy being dropped for Pennsylvania on the 1/3. Maybe nerves kicking in. Nobody misses on this first big flow section as we enter the calmest section of the song. Oh, Venom Puffs finding a break, traded out by Geek, though. I mean, that's only good for New York because Geek did no longer had an FC. Pennsylvania, they're just a little lower on the accuracies. Combos very much similar, but you just gotta keep holding the combos. That's what matters. But yeah, this is the last free section of the map, and then we get into the Ki of Doom and Despair in the back third of this map. Moore and Steven versus Mexia and Daziak. The fill third for Pennsylvania. Can he hold strong? Can he bring Pennsylvania to match point? Has no breaks. Venom Puffs being the one to drop on the recovery. It's not that big of a deal for Pennsylvania, but if everybody holds, that'll be a big deal. Steven and Moore still going strong, but Moore, the FC drops. Traded up by Venom Puffs. Now it's just Mexia and Daziak on the FCs, matching Geek and Steven. Geek not quite on an FC. Moore finding chain misses is going to bring the score back towards Pennsylvania's side, but Daziak and Mexia traded, and Steven is still holding an FC. Jalen Brunson, damn him, he has possessed Steven in this match, closing out the Snowmod 2 FC. Geek holding a nice recovery, but outmatched by his teammate, the old man official jerk, closing out the FC to bring New York to match point. But yeah, I mean, the odd one out in this lobby, you take a look at these scores and you see Venom Puffs, the core player, the core duo of half of the core duo for Pennsylvania A, so consistent, so good at so many things, dropping a sub 300k on this No Mod 2. It just has to feel bad. It just cannot feel good for Pennsylvania to pick a map where one of your core players does not feel that confident on it. And on the other hand, for New York, Steven, all-rounder, easy player extraordinaire, comfortable enough on the control to FC. Yeah, that was the most important pick of the match. Now New York A has secured at the very least tiebreaker. But it's not to say this pick isn't important. You want to close out this match. You don't want the stress of going to tiebreaker. For New York, the picks left up: Nomad 4, Nomad 5, Hard Rock 1, and Hard Rock 3. Those are your 4 map choices remaining in the pool, and it is Hard Rock 3 for New York. I did talk about this. I think it is good for New York to lean into the control skill sets, either Nomad 4 or Hard Rock 3, and they will be leaning into this Hard Rock 3. Anyway, we can skip past who's playing for Pennsylvania. You know who's playing. I don't even need to say it. Just type it in chat. For New York, wide variety of players here can play this. Hilo, maybe not the most comfortable on the alt skill set. Moore will probably play this. Steven has been performing so well. I'd expect them to play it as well. There's also... I mean, I wouldn't expect Geek to play this, even though he's in lobby right now. Not really the type of map I'd associate Geek with. Hilo, the Hard Rock specialist for New York, I don't know if he'll play this or not. Hard Rock alt is such a difficult skill set to be good at. Actually, Bemp in the lobby for Pennsylvania. Don't know if he's lobby sitting or not. Instead of Daziak. Yeah, Brudge in the lobby right now for New York, along with Steven. I'd expect Moore to be the last for New York. Bemp still in the lobby for Pennsylvania, playing over Daziak, it seems. Maybe Daziak just not comfortable on the rhythmic aspects of this Hard Rock 3, and Bemp, well-known, long-time tourney gimmick player, has comfortability on a lot of skill sets, but this is not one I'd associate Bemp with. New York A. There's no stress if you're going into this map for New York A. You have tiebreaker secured. It's just a matter of, do you complete the match before tiebreaker, or if you have to play it. Pennsylvania, you want to force tiebreaker. You don't want to lose in this fashion. The tiebreaker is so evenly matched. Awkward mechanics. Both sides have players very capable of playing this. You have to imagine the 3 players for both sides. Well, maybe not the 3 players for Pennsylvania, but Daziak at least is playing the tiebreaker right now, and all 3 players from New York that are not in this lobby are practicing it, as Pennsylvania, early lead for them. But as I've been saying this match, Ack don't mean a thing unless you got combo as we enter the first Ki. Bamp actually finding a break. I completely missed that. That's not good for Pennsylvania, but it's a relatively early break and scores haven't ballooned yet for New York, so no, there is time for them to trade, and there goes Brudge on the trade. Venom Puffs and Raymexia versus Moore and Steven. This is one of the hardest maps in the pool to be consistent on. Steven, though, finding a break on the space triple, and Pennsylvania, they've got a foot in the door. Now they've just got to get it open even more. They need to push their lead through the doorway. They need to hold that door open, and they need to push themselves into the tiebreaker with Moore finding a trade. Now it's just Raymexia and Venom Puffs on the FCs for Pennsylvania with a score lead of 100,000. Pennsylvania, they've got a lead, they've got the combo advantage, they've got everything right where they wanted to force tiebreaker. 200,000 the score lead and climbing, and we talk so much about Raymexia and Venom Puffs. We talk all the time how strong they are, how consistent they are. Venom Puffs putting up a stinker on the last map on Nomad 2, dropping less than 300k, finds a break. But like we said, when one falters, there's another right there to pick them back up. Raymexia standing tall, standing above the rest with an FC on the Hard Rock 3, leading Pennsylvania into forcing a tiebreaker in this Seed 1, Seed 5 matchup. Raymexia, he's all but nearly secured the point for Pennsylvania as we enter the break, and New York, no, they've got to play tiebreaker. Raymexia, all we have to see is, will he complete this FC on possibly the hardest map in the pool? Vamp and Venom Puffs finding break here at the ending, but it does not matter. The point is secured for Pennsylvania. Steven, the recovery combo for New York, finding a break here, and all that's left to remain is will Remexia close out the most impressive FC of the lobby so far. Backs up against the wall. You're on match point against the #1 seed in the tournament. Your lives are on the line, and all you can do is FC maybe the hardest map in the pool, completing out this Hard Rock FC for Remexia, the core player for Pennsylvania. I mean, what is there to say from New York's point of view other than what the hell did Remexia just do? This is the second match in a row for New York where they head to tiebreaker. Last match, a comeback victory against Indiana. This match, a back and forth bruise of a matchup. Neither team giving up anything to the other. One takes a break point, the other takes it right back, and straight into tiebreaker we go off of 4 straight break points as New York will elect to use their timeout. But yeah, I mean, there's no clear favorite for this tiebreaker. This is an awkward mechanics tiebreaker, 200 BPM flat. Weird quad notes, bursts, doubles, awkward aim, regular aim, you name it, this has got it, but it is only mechanics. The control picks that New York have favored for this entire match are not included really in this map. There's not any alt, there's not any tech, there's not really any reading. Pennsylvania, this is the best case scenario for a tiebreaker you can get against New York. At least in my opinion. New York, of course, very good at the aim, and obviously will be very good at this tiebreaker, but Pennsylvania, no slouches either. I have no doubt that Remexia and Venom Puffs can both FC this, and Daziak can put up a good score. But on the other side, New York A have 5 players that can play this, at the least, maybe all 6. So you've just got to think about what that means for the match. You've just got to think about who plays this map for New York. There are 3 people only allowed to be in the lobby at a time from New York. You've got 5 people that can FC it. Which 3 do you put in? Pennsylvania, it's very simple. You put in your best 2 players, and you put in Daziak, and you pray to the gods that you are able to beat them. But yeah, I mean, what an exciting way to close out these Sunday matches. These are Sunday matches. This is... Oh god, sorry, I'm so fried after this entire match. I mean, who would it be watching this match unfold in front of your eyes in the lobby? More Steven and Ayano Tateyama for New York, 5WC's best performing player in tryouts. The savior of New York, 5-digit Osu and Steven, versus who else? And the captain, sorry, not to leave out Shade, the captain of the entire team, versus Remexia and Venom Puffs. The dynamic duo of Pennsylvania carried them so far and so hard to get here, along with Daziak, their tried and true reliable fill on perhaps the most important point so far in this tournament. As We let Bancho build suspense here as we enter tiebreaker. Arcadia by Airball Eyes in this ridiculous match so far. Daziak finding an early break, but like the Nomad one, like the Hidden one, too early to matter in this match of nerves. It's all about who can control their nerves the best. Again, this is an awkward mechanics tiebreaker. 200 BPM, has bursts. I don't remember if it has a long stream or not, but has a lot of aim, has awkward aim, has awkward looking bursts, has doubles, has quads, even a few sliders that maybe can get you tripped up, but again, mainly a mechanics map. Probably the best tiebreaker to showcase Pennsylvania versus New York. Again, with it being aim focus, New York A, maybe a slight advantage here on paper, but paper gets thrown out the window when you're in a match such as this. Fire so intense it'll singe your eyebrows off, and trust me, that paper has been turned to ash. You can no longer rely on what's on paper as Moore finds a drop. The 5WC tryouts #1 placement for this year finds the first significant break along with Steven, and for New York, that's not what you want to see on a tiebreaker. Venom Puffs and Remexia still holding on to full combos, and the only break for Pennsylvania has been a very early break for Daziak. New York off to a bad start, but it's only a third of the way through the tiebreaker. There's plenty of map, but you have to keep holding. Remexia, though, fighting a drop. And it's just Venom Puffs and Daziak. Only FC remaining on the side of New York is Ayano Tateyama, and the only FC remaining in the lobby, for that matter, is Ayano Tateyama, the captain of New York, holding strong for his team. Jalen Brunson, save me, as Daziak the only combo to match New York. Pennsylvania, though, have good cushion. 100,000 this early into a tiebreaker is a lot of score. Daziak, and even though not an FC, still almost at an FC as the awkward aim by Tateyama finds a break. It's just Daziak now on the 900 combo, unmatched in the lobby. Steven and Moore on recoveries, but it's not nearly enough. Daziak, the unsung hero of Pennsylvania. Without Daziak, they would have not a solid third on majority of their maps. But he will find a break. Now Pennsylvania, no big combos matching Steven at all right now. Remexia and Venom Puffs matching more, but Steven, 900 combo on this tiebreaker, 100,000 still the score lead, and a double break for Venom Puffs and Daziak along with Remexia. Tateyama trades it, but it's Steven and Moore to continue into this tiebreaker last third. I struggle to call Steven a spawn, because Steven, the old man, has been around for longer than most of us. But the Decayer back into New York is here to put the team on his back once again. No mod 3 FC, no mod 2 FC, the score lead is down to 20,000. More with the recovery. The #1 5WC tryouts placement for this year, showing up on the tiebreaker so far, playing from China, playing at 12 a.m., waking up at 8. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter at all. The score lead flips. The awkward aim section, no breaks for New York. No breaks from Pennsylvania, but it only favors New York. Venom Puffs finding a slider break, but there goes Steven. It's now Moore on the combo, unmatched from Pennsylvania. Daziak and Ayano tying breaks, and it's just Remexia versus Moore. 70,000 the score difference. Pennsylvania, you've tried so hard. You've fought so hard. You've gone back and forth these last 4 picks in the match. You've tried your best. You're in the Major League Finals. You're in semifinals, aiming to upset the number 1 seed. But unfortunately for you, more is there and ready and hungry, waiting for you. And that will be the end of the tiebreaker. Pennsylvania will fall into the lower bracket. New York will advance to winner's side finals. And that is it for this match. Pennsylvania, so hard fought, so many opportunities, but will fall just short at the finish line. Just an inch off the 3-point line. And New York will sink a half-court buzzer beater to win in 5. New York A going to complete this match, a second tiebreaker win in a row for the number 1 seed in 5USC26. Continue on to the winner's side of the bracket to face against either New Jersey or SoCal, I believe, is on the opposite side of the bracket. Pennsylvania knocked down to the loser's bracket. Let me check the challenge. I believe they're facing Georgia or Michigan, so a scary match coming up for either of those teams, whoever advances from there. But yeah, I mean, just the craziest match of the tournament so far. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And thank you to everybody for playing. As that's it for this match, and that's it for tonight. As my nerves are still through the roof. I can't imagine what it's like being either any of the players on either of those teams. But yeah, that'll be all from me for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Good luck to Pennsylvania in the losers bracket. Good luck to New York in next week. And we'll see you next time. Good night.